You're about to explain your job to an AI for the third time today. Same context, same tone rules, same documents again. And somewhere in your inbox is a task that's been waiting since this morning because you ran out of time re explaining yourself. 6 months ago, that was my routine every morning. New chat, paste the brand guidelines, paste the content calendar, explain the tone, explain who it's for. I tracked one full week of it. 11 minutes every single chat, 3 to 4 chats a day. That's close to an hour a day gone before I had written a single real word. Then I rebuilt my setup around projects, and that hour dropped to about 5 minutes total. Here's the actual mechanics. A project is a container with two parts working together: custom instructions, which is context you write once, your role, your tone, your do's and don'ts, and a knowledge base, which is documents you upload once. Every new chat opened inside the project automatically has both loaded in before you type a single word. No pasting, no re explaining. And it's not static. You can keep adding documents to the same project for months, and every future chat sees the full growing library, not just what was there one day. Think of it like a film crew getting one full briefing before shooting starts instead of a fresh briefing before every scene. One briefing, dozens of scenes, all consistent because everyone's working from the same source. Let's build one properly in 6 simple steps. Step 1: name it specifically, not just work stuff. Something like weekly client emails or content calendar assistant, because a vague name means you'll dump unrelated files into it later and dilute it. Step 2: write instructions in 3 parts: your role in one sentence, your tone in one sentence, and one explicit rule about what to avoid. A banned phrase, a format you never want, a length limit. Step 3: upload 3 to 5 documents, not more. A tone or style guide, one strong example of past good output, and any recurring template. Step 4: test it immediately with a real task, not a general question. Ask it to actually produce something using the documents, because that's the only way to catch a bad setup before it costs you real time. Step 5: note what's missing. If the first output is close but not quite right, that gap tells you exactly what instruction or document to add next. Don't guess, let the output tell you. Step 6: revisit monthly. Your tone shifts, your templates update, and a project that isn't maintained slowly drifts from useful. One common objection: I don't have documents ready yet. Fine, start instructions only. Claude still performs far better than a blank chat, and you add documents the moment you create them. Quick execution round. The questions I get most: desktop or phone for setup? Desktop. Uploading and organizing multiple files is genuinely painful on mobile. How many documents to start? 3, not 30. A project with 3 focused documents will outperform one with 30 scattered ones every time. One project or 5. Start with exactly one, built around your single most repetitive task, and only add a second one once the first is actually saving you time. Do instructions expire or reset? No. They persist indefinitely until you manually edit them. Can you edit instructions after chats have already happened? Yes, and it only affects new chats going forward. Past chats keep their original context. Should teammates share one project? Only if your tone and task are genuinely identical. Otherwise, you'll water down the instructions until they are vague enough to fit everyone, which brings us to mistake 1. Even mistakes that quietly kill a project setup, and I have made every one of these myself. Mistake 1: vague instructions. Be helpful and professional. Tells Claude nothing specific, so it defaults to generic. The fix: name your actual role and one specific rule you actually enforce. Mistake 2: document dumping. 20 files with no structure buries the two that actually matter, and Claude has to guess which one you meant. Fix: 5 focused documents beat 20 scattered ones every time. Mistake 3: never testing it. People build a project and trust it immediately on real work without checking. Fix: run one real test prompt before you ever use it for something that matters. Mistake 4: one project for everything. Mixing marketing tone with client onboarding rules produces output that's confused about which voice to use. Fix: one project per distinct, repeatable task, no exceptions. Mistake 5: set and forget. Your tone guide changes, your templates update, your project doesn't. Fix: a 5-minute monthly check where you skim the instructions and swap out anything stale. Mistake 6: skipping instructions, documents only. We already covered why this fails. It's the single biggest reason projects underperform, and it's the most common mistake by far. Mistake 7: sharing one project across totally different tasks with the team. It works for exactly nobody because the instructions get diluted into something too vague to help anyone. Fix: one project per task, not per team. If you only fix one thing after this video, fix mistake 6. Remember that I was losing every single day? 3 or 4 chats deep in the same re-explanation? Gone. Because I stopped reteaching AI my job every morning and built it a manual once instead. Quick recap. A project is instructions plus documents, set up once, reused indefinitely. Test it before you trust it with real work. Revisit it monthly so it doesn't go stale. Pick your single most repetitive task this week and give it exactly one project. Then send this to one coworker on your team who's still pasting the same context into a blank chat or prompting the same context into a blank chat every single morning. See you in the next one.